This is Thor with Creative Twilight, playing a 40k game against Steve, and we're playing practice game for Feast of Blades. So I've already deployed, Steve gave me first turn, so let's see if I can get a shot of the table here. You can see Steve put his Aegis defense line over there. Gave me first turn, as I said, so I have scouts hiding out over here, near an objective. I have a command squad in the old school Razorback, tactical squad here, shooty Terminators, assault squad here, and right in the middle here is Fate Lord Monthu, also known as Shrike, a Land Raider Crusader with assault Terminators in there, and a Rhino with another tac squad over here. So the mission we're playing is mission 3 from Feast of Blades. The primary objective is capturing the objectives you can see that we put on the board. Secondary is kill points, and then there's also a sheet of modifiers for various different things you can accomplish throughout the mission. Okay, so into movement phase, the scouts stayed where they were. Moved the command squad up and the tactical squad. Advanced the Terminators and the assault squad. The Land Raider up here moved and then went flat out to get up to its current position with the Assault Terminators. And the other TAC squad, which I forgot to mention is combat squadded, since they can both ride in the same vehicle, also went flat out and moved up there. And now we're going to go into Steve's turn where he deep strikes.
So this is bottom of turn 1, Demons. I got my preferred half, deep struck in, my Soul Grinder, my Pink Horrors came in here and ran them over to the gun, this defense line, quad gun. My Soul Grinder deep struck in here, shot its phlegm at the sniper scouts and killed, 5 of them. The Screamers had deep struck back further, but I turbo boosted them up in the shooting phase up here to kind of protect my other stuff. The Mask deep struck in here, and she tried to pavane the scouts, but only got a 1-inch move. And the Flamers ended up scattering back like 8 inches, so they just ran for now. And that's it, I'm turned down for shooting.
So Steve forgot his Plague Bears, but we're just practicing, so I let him bring them in, and he's dropping them down here now and running them, and that's where they are. Bottom of, well, after my shooting phase here, which went horrible. Let's see. So movement, I backed up the command squad, got them out. I moved the Terminators over. They took shots on the Soul Grinder, didn't get anything for it. Multi-melt out of the Rhino, nothing. Let's see, the Assault Squad backed up a bit to come over here to reinforce this. Land Raider just pivoted, took some shots on the Horrors and killed around 4 of those guys. The Rhino over here just moved a little bit and got behind the Land Raider. And that was about it for my shooting, and there's no assaults.
So basically, beginning of turn 2 for the Demons, I got my Soul Grinder, I got Fiends, there's another squad of Screamers, so I had an icon in my Herald. So I dropped my Soul Grinder right here within 6, I dropped my Fiends out back within 6, and I dropped my squad of Screamers over here within 6. And then I moved my other Screamers and Flamers forward to try to push on the Tony stuff. The other Soul Grinder moved forward, the Fiends ran, the Screamers were back here and they turbo boosted over here. I pavaned first with the Mask, Tony's command squad and his Terminators, relocated those, and then I roasted them with my Flamers, shot all the Warp Fire and Demonic Gaze with the Herald at them, and basically got rid of that squad. Then I shot my 2 Soul Grinders, battle cannons at Shrike Squad, whittled those down quite a bit, just because Tony had 4 saves rolling and no cover, and they were AP3. And then my Pink Horrors tried to shoot the quad gun at the Rhino, but all they did was glance it. Only 1 glance got through, so it just took 1 hull point. And now we're going into the assault phase, and my Screamers are going to try to assault the Terminators. So the Screamers did a multi-charge. They assaulted the shooty Terminators, the Razorback, and the Rhino here. They wrecked the Rhino, they blew up, or the Razorback, they blew up the Rhino and wounded some Terminators and some of themselves, and a couple guys inside died. They pretty much won the combat. They killed, 4 or 5 Terminators, and then Tony failed his leadership test. I caught him, so we just piled in because of They Shall Know No Fear. And so now we're just piled in there, consolidated at the end of the assault phase.
So my Land Raider moved from over here to in the building, and the Assault Terminators got out. Land Raider did some shooting, took out one Screamer. Over here, this Tac Squad moved, melted the Soul Grinder and got nothing for it. The Assault Marines have moved here. They're going to get ready to charge into here. And the Tac Squad's going to get ready to charge the Soul Grinder because it's that desperate. And the Assault Marines are going to charge the Screamers. So the Assault over here, my Assault Marines came in. Hammer of Wrath, I think I got a wound in. Then took some pretty heavy casualties. All I have left is Shrike. That Terminator stayed. Put a bunch of wounds on, killed a bunch of guys here. The Soul Grinder combat, he killed a guy. I did nothing to him. Then the Assault Terminators, I lost 2 Terminators. Put 2 wounds on him, so we drew combat there.
So top of turn 3, I only got my Plague Bearer squad for my reserves. I still got another squad of Flamers waiting. I deep struck them over here. They didn't scatter, but I did lose 1 to dangerous terrain in the trees. So they're sitting there. Shooting phase, well, I don't know where the hell to start. I'll just start over here. I shot the Soul Grinder at the Rhino over here. Just took 1 hull point off of it. I shot my Flamers. I jumped them over here. Shot them at this Land Raider and did 4 glances, which wrecked the Land Raider. I ran my Fiends up here, anticipating an assault. Moved my mask over here to assault the Scout. My Pink Horse shot the quad gun at the Rhino and took 1 hull point as well, so it's still got 1 left. And now we're moving into the assault. Alright, so the mask charged that Scout. She ended up getting 1 rend, which was all she needed, killed him, and then she consolidated away. The Fiends charged in here to try to bail out my Soul Grinder. They did a pretty good job, took out 2 or 3 guys. And then I think the Fist whiffed on the Soul Grinder.
He died.
He died before he could swing on the Soul Grinder. And then the Soul Grinder killed a couple more, so there's 1 Soul Dude left. I tried to hit and run, but failed, rolled a 6, so they're still stuck in combat. The Screamer combat with Shrike and the Terminator. They put 1 more wound on Shrike. Shrike killed 1 of my Screamers, and then we killed the Terminator before he got to swing, so he's gone. And just piled in there. This assault, 1 Terminator died and 1 Screamer died, and we're just piled in there still. So that's it for turn 3.
So it's a bottom of 3, and we're going to call the game here because, as you can see, I have a Rhino with a Tac Squad. I have Shrike, 1 Tac Marine, and 1 Assault Terminator left. 2. And Steve still has 9 Flamers left to come in, and I don't have much left here. Bottom of 3, and this would be an easy massacre for Steve. Alright, so I just wanted to recap what my initial plan here was, and Steve's going to cover his. As you can see, mine failed miserably. That is pretty much all dead, except for 1 of the Tac Squads. So my initial setup was to deploy in this area here, keep my Assault Marine centrally as I did, and my Terminator so that way I could shift to which end of the line I needed. I was going to try to push this side and grab it, and then later game start shifting Rhinos over this way towards where I originally had the Scouts over in the trees here. But the Flamers coming in and the Screamers and everything just ruined everything, and I had all I could do to just hold down what I had, and ultimately I just got my ass kicked.
So I guess my plan basically with Demons is always hinging on what the opponent does in his deployment. So looking at Tony's deployment, I saw the Scouts on this 1 flank, Shrike and the Assault Terminators all over here, so I figured I would try to roll the softer flank. I had a good 24-inch deep strike pole over here, so I just tried to use that, monopolize that, tried to play the building and the ruin for some cover for my Soul Grinder, my bigger units. The defense line really was in case I faced flyers in this game, which I didn't, so it really didn't do a whole lot this game, other than give this Pink Horse a little protection, but they have a 4 on them all anyway. So that was basically my plan, was to try to roll this flank. Unfortunately, with Shrike's 12-inch leading jump pack assault squad, kind of made it, who's going to make the first move situation. So I just went ahead and threw my screamers out there and my flamers out there, anticipating I was going to get hit by him, and then figuring I'd pick up the aftermath. And it actually worked really good for me. I got hit, but I survived really well, and things went my way pretty much throughout. So.